If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means you are locked into the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, sponsored by BetUS TV. I'm Jeff, that's Mensa, and you are amazing. Chat, we got a lot to talk about tonight as the New York Knicks defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 116-107. Mensa, they said it was a curse. They said stop doing watch parties because the only thing we're watching are L's. But now there's back-to-back W's when the KFS community gets together and locks in and watch this team do what they got to do. The name of the game is Next Man Up. I got the notification just like you, Mensa. I heard DeLon Wright is starting tonight over Tyler Kolek. The fans, it felt like your parents telling you that you had to eat your vegetables no matter what, even though you knew tonight was a cheat night. But you said, whatever, let's see what happens. A lot of us might have thought it was the wrong decision, but you know what? It was the right one because DeLon set it off. 10 points. He had a steal. He had rebounds. He had tip-ins. He was out there looking like a man that was looking for revenge against the team that traded him and discarded him as if he wasn't playing big minutes for the Heat in the playoffs a couple of years ago, as if he hadn't been here before. He did that. And I know there was a lot of conversation about whether or not we needed to shut down the Wingstop franchise because those pieces, the 6-piece, the 8-piece wasn't hitting like we thought it was going to hit. But Mensa, we got the full lemon pepper arrangement tonight. Josh Hart, welcome back, brother. Double-double, 13 points, 14 assists, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. I was expecting double-double, triple-double number 10, but a double-double will suffice because Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby saw what happened on Wednesday, where Harden took over one quarter and Kawhi took over the fourth. And they said, anything y'all could do, we could do it like the Knicks do it. Mikal goes aggressive, takes over the second. OG Anunoby, we know he's been spending all his VC on that rip-through move, but now he's uploaded the Kawhi package and shut down the door in the fourth quarter. 20-point fourth quarter for OG, and the Knicks were able to withstand a few Milwaukee Bucks runs. A few of these runs. Now, it was like the walking wounded out there. Everybody had people out of this game. You know, shout out to Dame, get well soon. Shout out to Brunson, get well soon. But it was the others that had to step up and make a difference. And that's what we saw today. It was easy to try to give this one up and say, I don't know what's going to happen. But there were a lot of game changers that played tonight, Mensa. And we were fortunate to be there because I would have been sick if we were doing this post game and they would have collapsed and lost that game. But we don't got to worry about that. I guess we'll never know because the Knicks pull out the 9-point victory that low-key wasn't as close as the score dictates because there was a lot of last-second scoring. And if you had some money on this game with the total or the points, whether you laid them or you took them, you might be a little bit pissed tonight. But the Knicks fans aren't. Because we got a victory 4 games away from a 50-win season. The vibes are feeling good. Mensa, we here tonight. I know you dabble in the world football, what they call soccer in this US. Do you dabble? Do you put your toe? You dabble? You dabble? I want to do a man of the match. That's what they call player of the game over in the non-Americas. You know what I'm saying? Who is your man of the match tonight?
Man of the match for me tonight. I gotta go with one Ogugwa Anunoby from Great Britain.
What his mama named him tonight.
Because I know you just said that he spent a bunch of money, a bunch of his VC on the rip through, but he saved a little bit for that Euro step. I don't know if you caught it. He had a little bit on that Euro. He'd been in that Gatorade gym, getting his workouts in, doing all the things. And it's like, man, where did you get this package of moves from? Where was that, earlier in the season, and I'm happy to see that the guys like OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, who will be my second guy here, I'm happy to see that they are taking advantage of the minutes without Jalen Brunson, because we are going to need those guys, those two specifically, because they're making between, I want to say, $212 million and 5 first-round picks. All the resources went to those two guys this past offseason. So we really want to see them step up the most coming into this playoff season. And I think you hit on something really important, which is I think they're at 46, 47 wins right now. The number 50 is very important for this team for a reason that has nothing to do with the season and everything to do with consistency. The New York have not had 2 back-to-back 50-win seasons since 1994 and 1995. I was born on April 15th, 1994. So not since I came on this planet, not since I was born, have the Knicks been as consistent as they are approaching in this era of New York Knicks basketball, in this era of Leon Rose basketball. And what better way for them to show that than on a night without Jalen Brunson, a night without Damian Lillard. The doctor said he has blood clots. He ain't even Jamaican, man. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. Shout out to, well, no, we're not going to shout him out, but great lyric from a long time ago. Longer than the New York Knicks have been, good is what I'll say. But really important that as the Knicks approach this 50-win season that I'm hoping they get to, because look, nothing is guaranteed. Especially with the way Cat's been looking a little gimpy. I don't know if he's going to need a game or two off coming down towards the end of the season. But for the Knicks to be at a place where they're approaching a second 50-win season in a row without Jalen Brunson leading them, it speaks to where this organization is going, the character of this organization. And I know we spent so much time this season disparaging where they are, and there's so much hoopla made about the record against the top 3 or top 4 teams in the NBA. The Knicks have the 5th highest win percentage in basketball this year. All that stuff aside, this is still a good team. This is still a team you can be proud of. And again, without Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby stepping up, Mikal Bridges stepping up, Josh Hart 2 assists shy of his 10th triple-double. How about Mitchell Robinson with 10 rebounds in the first half of a basketball game that really, really set the tone for the Knicks, because you forget how much of a breath of fresh air, how much of a glass of water in the desert his offensive rebounding can be, because we took it for granted so much. I know I personally took it for granted, and I'm going to get into a few more things that I took for granted, but especially Mitchell Robinson's rebounding. But when that notification came across, I think it was a Steve Popper tweet, that Tyler Kolek was not getting the start and it was going to be DeLon Wright, I was very disappointed. One, because I said FanDuel set the line at 6.5 assists for Tyler Kolek. He's done that. If he gets 20 minutes tonight, he's doing that.
Very light.
Did not get 20 minutes tonight. I was very annoyed. But DeLon Wright made me eat my words. Because when I saw the tweet, I was like, oh, FanDuel made the call. But he had such a tone setting, and I think that's what you want out of your starters, is to set the tone. He had such a tone setting first quarter that it was like, okay, we all got to apologize. Tibbs knows what he's doing. Just more proof that this guy, I think as I was watching the game, it came across the bottom of the screen there, where I think 69 consecutive wins with a 15-point lead. Like that's consistency, right? And it's just so beautiful to see the Knicks sweep a team again, because we swept Milwaukee tonight. We won the season series. So we swept Milwaukee this year. We swept Miami this year. 2 of the giants in the Eastern Conference this decade. The Knicks are starting to establish, as much as whether or not we want to give them credit, they are establishing themselves as a consistent powerhouse in basketball. To go into another team's building when their best player is playing and your best player is not playing, and to win decisively is important. I mean, I get it. The Bucks, they're on their way down. They're the 6th seed in the conference right now. I don't care, because we might be playing them in the playoffs in another 2-3 weeks, right? So it's good to get those establishing games. We swept you. We beat you all 3 times. And now you're going to come to the playoffs. You got to go to the Garden game 1 and game 2, we're ready for you. So I was really proud to see the Knicks effort, really proud to see the way that Tom Thibodeau continues to get these guys ready. I have to give guys credit when credit is due, because we love to disparage. And when, look, there's time for disparaging, and I'm not trying to say it's bad to do that. But when a team does well, let's also wave the pom-poms. Let's also be proud of everything we see from these guys. Another great game from Tyler Kolek. Just a dime factory. What else can you say about the guy? Just a dime factory. He had Shaka Smart in the crowd. He's talking junk to Shaka Smart. We love to see it. Great return to Milwaukee for both of our point guards tonight. DeLon Wright, who was traded from Milwaukee, and Tyler Kolek, who played at Marquette in Wisconsin. Just a really great game all around from the Knicks. Nobody that I want to say had a bad game tonight. I felt like in the beginning of the game that DeLon Wright was getting ready to snatch not Tyler Kolek, getting ready to snatch Landry Shamet's chain, because Landry Shamet hasn't been the hottest. And then Landry Shamet said, you know what? I like my chain right where it is. I'm going to keep my chain. And it was on fire tonight. So just really proud to see the effort from all the Knicks, everybody from start to finish. A great team win, even though we were led by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Double-double again from Karl Anthony Towns. Wasn't his best game, but you kind of see the floor with Karl Towns. He still gives you that floor stretching. He still has the foul issues. That's just going to be a consistent issue with him, but he's a great rebounder. Still gives you some great passes. I thought he had a really slick pass to OG Anunoby in the corner, I believe in the third quarter of the game. OG didn't make the shot, but you're seeing sometimes, even if you don't have the best statistical game, your talent alone elevates your teammates. And we got to see that again with Karl Anthony Towns tonight. Not a lot of precious minutes. We'll move on. But a great team win for sure. Really, really happy to see what the Knicks did tonight. That's kind of what I have tonight.
This is the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, sponsored by BetUS TV. The Knicks won 116-107 against the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to give my man of the match to DeLon Wright, because I know when he woke up this morning, he figured, I'm going to have to play a little bit more. Probably didn't figure that he was going to start. And it would have been easy for him to flop tonight because he hasn't been playing as much. He isn't in a rhythm. He isn't really looking to score. But what I saw was a dude who took advantage of the opportunity presented to himself. He embodied what it means to be next man up. Like, I saw him aggressively taking those threes. He's taking heat check shots. He was feeling the game. It was somebody who went out there and played off of instinct. He wasn't in his head, and he let the game come to him. When he got that the tip, when Kuz tried to do the alley-oop to Giannis, which is usually one of those game-breaking moves that can get Milwaukee on their side and have them raising the roof and blowing the roof off, he was able to disrupt that. In the first half, he didn't really do as much stat-wise in the second half, but in the first half, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 14 minutes. He had a steal included with that. And he played, what did he play? He played 30 minutes tonight. And I think this is the time for the minutes police to go on furlough for a little bit, because that dude is a dude who I know he wasn't trying to be out that game. He wasn't trying to be out the game. He wasn't trying to sit or do anything like that. This dude was ready to play, and he would have played 60 minutes, 100 minutes if he had to. And I loved what he showed us. And I was impressed, especially when you're going against a team that traded you your fringe rotation player, and you want to still. Oh, we lost Mensa. You see, the minutes police, they trying to shut us down. They trying to hack the feed right now, because all I said was maybe I can use some PTO. Just tonight, y'all can take off a PTO. That's all I was saying, but it's all good. We're going to get Mensa back. I'm going to shoot Mensa some bail. We're going to free Mensa from the shackles of internet espionage by the minutes police, all right? But that's why DeLon Wright, for me, was my man of the match. And I'm going to say this was a whole team effort. We go to some of the stats that popped out in my head. For one, the Knicks dominated on the boards. Straight dominated on the boards. They were 44-32 on the rebounds, and particularly 14-3 on offensive boards. 14-3. They controlled it. And I know y'all saw some of those Cat Towns minutes. This is where that too big lineup, like I call it the jumbo lineup, the too tall, the twin tower lineup, right? Those are the ones where you have to watch what they're doing. You have to be able to see how they can be most effective. If they're going to be missing shots, they got to control the boards on the offensive and the defensive end. You put Mitch in the dunker spot. You draw attention that way. Mitch, I know he was gassed out there at one point, and he's still trying to get his sea legs under him. But this dude, he came into the game halfway into the first when Carl picked up his second foul. When he was on the court with DeLon Wright and Wingstop, or Wingy Hut Jr., when you involved Josh Hart, right? The mood changed. The mood defensively changed to where they wore the Bucks out. They went on a run right after that and was closing the first quarter strong. And it was because of Mitch's energy. At one point, he was out there guarding Kuz on the perimeter. Like they try to go small and there was no else for the guard. So he was out there guarding Kuz. This is the type of dynamic lineup availability that this team can have when Mitch is at his best. Let's see. All right, well, I'm trying to see if Mensa's going to be back. I want to. This is like double dutch. I'm trying to hop in and see if he's going to come back, but it's all good. While I wait for my brother to come through, I'm going to get his take when he comes back. I want to know what he thought about the turnovers, because this was something that was completely stark. We've been talking about the Knicks defense. We've been talking about it over the past season, about how they need to step up. Well, turnovers 16-9 in favor of the Bucks. The Bucks, who average about 13 turnovers a game. So this is unlike them, especially when you don't have Dame in there, who doesn't really turn the ball over. You're going to get this. 26 points off of 16 Bucks turnovers. On the other hand, 9 turnovers for the Knicks, 13 points. They were plus 13 on the points off of turnovers. They kept it to win within 7 on the bench points. That was something that was important too. You had Shamit, you had an aggressive Tyler Kolek going to the rim, taking those open shots is something that he needs to do to keep the defense honest as well. And they led in second chance points, 15-11, fast break points, 22-18. This was something that we've wanted to see from this team on a consistent effort. We know that they have the capability and the personnel to do it. It's just a matter of showing it when it matters. And for a lot of folks, when it matters is against those upper echelon teams. I like to see process at play. I want to see it to see if they're going to be able to replicate this. And I think there were a lot of good signs. You should really like what you see from OG. You should really like the aggressiveness from Mikal. You should love the fact that these fringe bench players are stepping up when it matters, because that helps to save the rest of the team, try to keep them a little fresher. And it allows them to capture these games that are well within the realm of them winning. That's all we really ask for. And more than anything, shout out to that team for getting that win, a quality win on KFS Watch Party Night, because I know the squad is tight hearing y'all tell them stop throwing watch parties, leave it alone. We tired of the wins, although there have been a lot of big wins when watch parties have occurred, but it's cool to be on a watch party win streak. That's what we love here. So I want to know what y'all got to say. Y'all know the vibes. Get the super chats in. Like this post game. If you love what you hearing, get the likes up. Share this with your fellow Knicks fans or anybody who loves NBA hoops. You know the vibes. Get it in and let's chat. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I want to see what the KFS community wants to say. I got to bail out Mensa because the Menace police, they pulled him over. They said his ID wasn't valid. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. We shall overcome the Menace police tonight, all right? But first, you know we got to pay the bills. And there's no person better to get that money than my man, Jonathan Macri. John, take it away.
quick break to tell you about our friends from Yule, specifically the Yule Black Edition ready-to-drink meal in a bottle. What is Yule? Well, I'm excited to tell you about it, and I'm excited to show you. But first, a quick reminder that if you want to get in on Yule, new customers can visit yule.com/KFS today and use my code KFS to get 15% off your first order plus a free gift. So again, what is Yule? It is a meal in a bottle. It is super convenient. It is very easy for anybody who has a busy life like me doing a bunch of podcasts. What do I need? I need a bottle that I could throw in my bag, take with me on the go, pop open, and boom. There is my meal in a bottle right here. It comes in some great flavors. Iced coffee, that's my wife's favorite. Chocolate and banana, vanilla, or the one I am partial to, chocolate. I am a big fan of a good old chocolate milkshake, but chocolate milkshakes aren't great for me. Yule, however, really is delicious. It's something I could feel good about drinking. And again, it is super easy and convenient. Tons of benefits, high in protein, vitamin C. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee, and it tastes really good. Again, if you want to get in on the action with Black Edition ready-to-drink meals in a bottle, just go to yule.com/KFS today and use my code KFS to get 15% off that first order plus a free gift.
My man, John Macri, telling you where you can get the latest from our sponsors here at Knicks Film School. And this is the Knicks Postgame, sponsored by BetUS TV. It's time. It's time. It's super chat time. So I think we're still waiting for Mensa, but he can get in on the fun a little bit later. But it's time. So Mark is on the boards tonight. Y'all shout out Mark. Y'all tell him what's up. Y'all don't be rude. Say what's up to Mark as well. And we're going to get to it. First off, Scott Thomas, $4.99. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. How would Taylor Jenkins look as Knicks coach? Mark, was this set before the game, during the game, or was this set after the game? It was set before the game. Okay. Why are we here now? Why are we here? Whatever you think is going to happen, if you think you've seen what the Lord has done for others and it can happen for you, you might want to pick a different God to pray to. That's not going to happen. Those are two completely distinct situations. I will say, you let the Grizzlies fans tell it. It's almost like looking into an alternate reality version of your squad. When I hear, shout out to my homie Molly Morrison, who's a big Memphis Grizzlies fan, I hear her break down what the issues were with Taylor Jenkins. And some of the things, talking about rotations, talking about whether or not they have control in the locker room, all these things. There was a couple of things here and there that I was like, wow, if you squint, if you close your eyes, you might think they was talking about the Knicks. Like, they're 44-29 and they fired their coach 10 games before the playoffs. If that was the Knicks, boy, it would look like pandemonium in the city. If that happened, you don't want that type of chaos around the team. And honestly, with the way Taylor Jenkins lost that team, it seems, and at times, and the way certain stuff went down from certain accounts, I don't know if you want him here. He's a good coach, but I don't know if that's who you want here. So that's just what I'll say. A's back.
Are we back? Are we good?
Not guilty. You got to feel me.
Here we go.
Yo, I said Babylon, aka the Minutes Police, had you in the back of the car talking about, yo, all right, all his stuff, check out, just give him a ticket.
I was in another group chat. I was making some CIA jokes, so they probably tapped my connection. And
well, you ain't missed too much. You just missed our guy Scott asking how Taylor Jenkins would look as the Knicks head coach, which was set before the game.
He would look bald. That's how he would look. I have nothing else to say about that. I don't.
All right, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. What do we have next? Armand Bernage. Tibbs needs to really get a better feel for the game. Wright was staggering the offense with lack of playmaking. Kolek comes in and ignites the offense. I thought DeLon Wright had a strong first quarter. I don't think you're going to get the playmaking that you get from Kolek, but then I don't think you're going to get the defensive intensity and doggedness that DeLon brought you. I don't know how you look at DeLon's first quarter and say Tibbs doesn't know what he's doing. I get what you're saying in terms of running the offense and doing all of that, but we know DeLon isn't that type of point guard. He probably wouldn't even be playing point guard if he was a rotation player for this team. He probably would be a reserve wing, which is back to what you said, Mensa, about he might be snatching Landry's chain in certain situations. But I don't know. I think Kolek came in at the end of the first, I want to say, the final minutes, and then played a good portion of the second. I thought it was a good change of pace, and you saw that within the way they built to that eventual 11-point lead. So I don't know. I don't know if tonight's the night to be talking about better feel for the game when the 80% of that game was a comfortable win.
Yeah. I kind of get it because
it was in the third quarter. I'm sorry, just point of information. That was in the third quarter. That's probably when the Bucks was going on that run.
Yeah, so I kind of understand it. It can be, but this is part of, I guess, the ups and downs of being a fan. Is, you know, you're watching the game throughout the quarter, and like Armand might be happy with the way the game, you know, ended, but watching the Knicks in that third quarter when the Bucks are making this big run, and then they respond with a 12-1. Like after the Bucks made their run, the Knicks went on a 12-1 run, right? So it's just. We can be a bit nitpicky, but I'm overall happy with the way Tom Thibodeau figured it out. And yeah, I don't have much to complain about. But if this like coming in the third quarter, I could see why Armand would say that. Thanks, Armand.
For sure. Thank you so much, Armand. With the context, I know you were sick, and then he pressed send, and then they went on the 12-1 run. So if they're ever giving it up like that, filthy Armand, send a super chat because they respond to your money and your energy. Thank you so much. Next. Iceman Sham, respect DeLon Wright's professionalism to be ready. What you think about that, Mensa?
Yeah, definitely. He reminds me of, I'm a Jets fan, so he reminds me of a guy like Brandon Echols, who like whenever he would never be the starting cornerback, but if ever like Sauce or DJ Reed would go down, Brandon Echols would come in and pick off Tua Tagovailoa. It always felt like we were playing the Dolphins when he came in. But yeah, just that mentality, you know, to be ready is not something that you normally see out of NBA basketball players. That's more so something that you see from guys, you know, like in the NFL, MLB kind of a thing. So definitely appreciate his professionalism. And I think he's a New York State guy. To be honest, I think he's from upstate New York. So shout out to DeLon Wright, man. Really appreciate his ability to stay ready with the Knicks.
Yeah, that's what you call professionalism. When they talk about he's a pro, that's what a pro is. Because it would have been easy for him to just go out there and vibe it out and have to sit for the whole second half because he was ineffective. But the one thing that's going to always travel is defense. And he doesn't lack for effort on that end. So as long as he's able to build up and play his defensive game, he'll always have a spot in a Tibbs rotation, especially if he needs you in a bind. Because remember, this isn't the first time we've seen DeLon Wright, and the clip game wasn't the first time. He was out there for defensive sequences to end the games when he was playing the offense defensive game, and that's a awesome tool to have in your toolkit. And I wish he was around in 21.
Yeah. When we had He Who Shall Not Be Named playing point guard games over Emmanuel quickly.
Right. I just wish that game one, I wish DeLon Wright was the one playing defense, right? So pro's pro, shout out to him. Great work. I'm trying to see. You said that he's from out here. I'm trying to see.
I mistake him for a guy. He looks like DeLon Wright, and I don't remember that player's name.
That is a LA man, brother.
He's from. I'm like, wait. I looked it up. I'm like, wait, no.
It's another. Just because his name is DeLon doesn't mean that he's going to be from New York.
I thought he was from Flatbush. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank you, Iceman. Appreciate you. Iceman, another one. All right. Probably the best game I've seen as a duo from Wingstop this year, and Giannis' body language throughout tonight wasn't great. I don't know. Bucks in rough shape. I'll set it off by saying I know Giannis' foot on fire. I know his foot is on fire. I take a billion Giannis's on my squad because his body language is I fucking hate losing. That's his body language. I respect the hell out of his competitive edge. And even with a foot on fire, he was getting buckets. He's so different. 250 in the 70s, 500 in the 50s. They would have been calling him. If Giannis was in 1955, he would have had to go through a modern day Salem witch trial. Okay, they would have called him Dormammu if that man was hooping in the 50s. He is not of this earth. He needs to be burnt at the stake. We need to throw holy water on him because he must be the product of the dark arts. Like that would have been him. They would have been modern day Salem witch trial if Giannis would have been back. So I'll say on that end, he always gets my respect. And the best game you've seen as a duo from both of them, I'll say definitely in recent memory that they both go off like this and be as impactful the way they go off. I really enjoyed the game because they took the burden of the offensive scoring when it was needed. Mikal picked up in the second quarter. OG was the closer. He played like that LeBron, Kawhi, fourth quarter role where, with like LeBron games, they would shut the door early in the fourth so that the rest of the game was just trading baskets. That's what I like from OG. And this dude is showing a level of aggressiveness, Mensa, that I didn't even know he had in him. He's talking to the refs. He's getting fouled. He's talking to the ref. And he's demonstrative about it. He's emoting. OG's emoting, bro. Like, I love what I'm seeing. He's getting stronger every game.
Yeah, definitely. OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. I tweeted during the game that Mikal was like pissing me off almost because it's like, do this against the Celtics, bro. Like, I'm like, come on. Like, what? I see him like doing cross tween dribbles. I'm like, where is all of this when it's when it's peak? But I'm gonna be happy with what we saw tonight because it's a step in the right direction. OG and Mikal, they have game. Like they're good basketball players. If you take those two guys off the Knicks and you put them on the trade market, literally the other 29 teams, all of them will want an OG Anunoby and a Mikal Bridges. Maybe not the Celtics because the Celtics have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right? But they're different. Obviously, they just won a championship. But 28 other teams will want both of those basketball players because they're talented. And I'm happy that I'm starting to see I'm very happy to start to see the confidence come out of them. And if that was the silver lining of this Jalen Brunson ankle injury, which thank God he's recovering much faster than anybody projected. But the silver lining was we would use March for OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to really get their confidence together. So to see them go into another team's building and combine for 55, 60 points, that's what you want to see. That's everything that you want to see from those guys. Definitely, I would say their best moment offensively. Defensively, I'm trying to think if there were better games from those two. There's nothing that comes to mind. And this game, they didn't really need to be dominant defensively because the other team only had Giannis. So I'm just having a great night, guys. But yeah, I think that for sure they were dominant tonight, and Giannis's body language was a reflection of their own dominance. So love to see what the Knicks are doing. Love to see what OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are doing. You guys call them Wingstop. I call them the Locks because I like 90s hip hop, and that's just where I'm at. So shout out to the Locks. Shout out to Jadakiss, Styles P, Sheik Luch, and shout out to OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. For
OG and Mikal, 57 combined points tonight. Thank you, Ice Space Shan. Giovanni Bistretta. Oh, fucking G. Please see baby Jesus get us healthy for the playoffs. Kolek, once again, 0 turnovers. Kids learning from JB. Let's fucking go. I believe. I like the fact that you have energy around this team, around positive energy around this team, and you're living within the moment. Understand something. I want Knicks fans to understand something. The way we've been talking about the Cavs and the Celtics and the Thunder and how it doesn't seem like the Knicks can get over the hump, the Bucks, the Nuggets, And the Rockets are talking about the Knicks the same way, especially the Bucks. Especially the Bucks. Like, this is if they didn't hit the F your total, F your over, F your point spread 3 at the end, this would have been the I think in every game that they've played the Bucks, they've beat them by double digits except this one. That's off the top of my head. Please feel free to fact check. But they've been able to beat this team no matter who they have playing. There's certain teams where the styles make the fight and the Knicks just have the advantage because they have better supporting players and their defense, as it's tailor-made, can stop the other defense, the other offense that's playing against them no matter what. It's just the way it is. Like, you can't super play drop on Dame, but everybody else, this is probably the first Bucks team since in the Giannis era, since they've been good, like the championship era, where the defense actually works. And they don't have Pat Connaughton and all these other dudes banging threes at will. It's just certain teams, the Knicks got their number, and the Bucks are one that got it. So I think you got to put a lot of that into context with this season. I know there's been a lot of talk about what is success this season and how it should feel. It's very weird around the team. 46 wins, on pace for 50, clinched the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. And everybody's just like, because you feel like it's a foregone conclusion where they go. Just remember, you still got to play those playoff games. Everything still has to happen. Because if things were a foregone conclusion, the Knicks and Celtics would have been playing a 7-game series last year. There's things unseen that you ain't seen yet. So enjoy the ride. Kolek, by the way, 29 assists, 1 turnover in like 70 minutes.
Absolutely wild. Ludicrous stuff from Tyler Kolek, man. Just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying. It just kind of goes back to what I've been trying to preach all season about enjoying the journey and kind of looking at things from a wider lens than living and dying with the team every single day. You got to understand, guys, the Cleveland Cavaliers, this is the, 3rd, 4th year?
Yeah.
This is the 3rd year, I think, since Donovan Mitchell's been.
This is year 3 of Donnie, yeah.
Year 3. The Celtics they've had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together since 2017, since Tatum got drafted. You have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who've been building that thing around Shea since he got there in 2019, 2020.
Yep.
The Knicks are in the 1st year of their build out. Now, I get it. You know, people say, oh, you shouldn't look at it like it's year 0. I mean, okay, you don't have to look at it like it's year 0. This is still a top 5 team in the NBA, right? And one thing that I will not do, and I don't care how crazy you think I am, I will not do this. I will not bet against Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden in a playoff series. I won't do it. And I know that the Knicks, as the 3rd seed, will only host the first playoff series right now. If they advance and they end up playing a 2 seed, then the 2 seed will obviously have home court advantage. I don't care. One thing that I know it's really, really early for this, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if the Knicks and the Boston Celtics get into a playoff series, even though the Celtics are the champions, right? I don't think that you can look at any series that the Boston Celtics have played where it's like the other team hates your guts, right? If the Boston Celtics are playing game 3 and they're in Madison Square Garden with all that New York Boston history, look, they're champions, they're battle tested. They still have not experienced the unadulterated and pure hate that New Yorkers can bring in a playoff series. Nobody has seen, like, it's Tyrese Halliburton's gone through it, right? Tyrese Halliburton's built for it because he's annoying. Trae Young, another villain, right? Who has been expunged from the records. We don't care about Trae Young. He's a loser in Madison Square Garden. All I'm trying to say here is Jalen Brunson's tough as nails. Josh Hart, I know, will be whatever the last game the New York Knicks play, Josh Hart will be in that game. Period. He will not miss that game. This team we haven't seen the toughness that we would like to see. That's the regular season. Jalen Brunson is a phone booth bucket in the playoffs. Like, it doesn't matter. Josh Hart will get you 21 rebounds in a playoff game if that's what you need him to do, right? Mikal Bridges is another Villanova guy who I'm sure will feed off that energy. OG Anunoby, if he's healthy, he just has this deadpan experience about him. All of this is to say that don't bet against the Knicks, guys.
Facts.
I know we feel like they're not tough and Cat's too foul prone and Brunson isn't the best defender and Mikal can't cross clean enough and OG Anunoby doesn't get enough buckets offensive. Like, look, they have their flaws. I get that. But I'm not betting against them. I'm not.
I love it. That's fandom right there. That's fandom right there. I love it. Giovanni, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Sam Garcia, Juan Jose Soto Pacheco. Did they win?
I think last I checked, we were up 3-1 going into the bottom of the ninth. So
the bottom of the ninth? What?
Yeah.
Did they turn off the pitch clock?
Hold on.
Oh, they won. Mark said they won. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So 1-1. 3-1. Okay. Yeah, Soto, what is that? 3 hits in 2 games?
Yep. I think 2 hits, but the big one, he got his first home run of many. My guy. It was, oh man.
Damn, I knew I should have put something on that. I'm slacking.
Man.
I'm slacking on my baseball betting, yo.
It was plus 370, brother. Ask me how I know.
I mean, look. You know who the bet. It's a free game. Homeboy that's hit a home run in opening day 6 straight years.
Oh, I took that. Hello, Neil.
See, they might make that even money. See you in 2026. I'm about to set a reminder in my phone to remember. Like, yo, who is homeboy that hits the home run opening day? Boy, we try to go to Sizzler. But yo, shout out to y'all, Sam Garcia. Shout out for the Juan Soto love. Richard Robinson, thank you so much. No one should sleep on the Pistons. They beat Boston again tonight.
They beat Cleveland without Cade Cunningham. So impressive win for sure.
Yeah, for sure. They're balling, man. As always, I've said, I respect the opponent. I don't fear them. That's my mentality, and I think that's the Knicks mentality, or that's at least the mentality they should adopt. You don't got to disrespect them. I don't think me saying that a top 5 team in the league would beat the Pistons in a 7-game series is disrespectful. I know they're hungry. I know JB and them got them extremely turned up, especially if they're going to play the Knicks, because the Knicks got him packing and was one of the reasons he was 1 foot out of the door in Cleveland because of that series. So I totally get 1,000%, totally get why they would be charged up and why fans are like, hold on now. But look, I say this every year, man. Only one of these teams is going to win the title. What's the point of being humble? For who? For what? For some assholes on Twitter? For media people? Humility? What is this, the feudal age? My lord, I pardon me, but I fear that I have gotten a little overzealous in my excitement over the Knickerbockers and their chances in the playoffs. Fuck out of here. Who cares? They are gonna, one of those teams is gonna, 15 teams are gonna lose. So you might as well enjoy that ride until you run out of gas.
Look,
but I like the Pistons. They're a great story. And I'm glad that Cade is getting his shine. And I'm glad that especially for the city of Detroit, I'm glad they don't stink. That's a basketball city and that's a story franchise, man. They shouldn't stink.
Yeah, I think the NBA is better when Detroit has a good basketball team for sure. And as the KFS respecter of Detroit, I like what they're doing. And if it's the 4 or 5, if they end up in the 5 seed and they end up playing the Indiana Pacers, I will be rooting for the Detroit Pistons like I grew up on 8 Mile. But when it comes down to the Knicks versus the Pistons, I get it because the Knicks were the Pistons. We were the upcoming team, and it's like we see a lot of ourselves in them. But at the same time, we got Jalen Brunson. I know everybody thinks Cade Cunningham is better than Jalen Brunson, And that may be the case in 2027 or 2028, but the year is 2025, and Jalen Brunson's in his prime, and Jalen Brunson opens up can of whoop ass on teams. Like, when Jalen Brunson's going, guys, like, I mean, I know he hasn't been playing for the last month, but when Jalen Brunson is going, he's unstoppable. And the Pistons don't got nobody for that. The Pistons could try this Osar Thompson stuff with Jalen Brunson. You know what the Knicks are then going to do? They're going to say, we're not going to let you beat us with Malik Beasley threes. We're not going to let you beat us with Cade Cunningham excellence. We're going to make you beat us with Osar Thompson shooting threes in the corner. You know how I know that? Because we did that to Isaac Okoro when J.B. Bickerstaff was the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I've seen it before. I'm not worried about the Pistons in a playoff series because I got Jalen Brunson, and that's all I need to know.
1,000%. Rich, thank you so much for the super chat. Juanon, what's up, Juanon? Do we know the T-Squared Friday versus Saturday record? Asking for somebody who believes in the profit and power of Friday nights. Hashtag fire tips. Wait, so are you saying that desecrating the Sabbath is the reason why the Knicks have been losing on Friday?
That might be it. That might be it right there, guys.
All right. Knicks. So what if you're a 7-day Adventist?
Or what if you pray to Robert Randolph? What about that?
Oh my God.
What if Friday Night Knicks is what you live for? You know?
Oh my God! In the name of the Father, the Son, and Friday Night Knicks on MSG. That is, Juanon, you are crazy. I would actually like to know the next gen stats on the watch party. I think that would be amazing. Somebody get Jeremy. Jeremy got to break that down. In cap or no cap. Jeremy got to break that down for sure. Thank you, Juanon. Appreciate you. Aunt Rich. Tibbs has to figure out a way for Mikal to get fed in the mid-range when Jalen gets back. Also, does PJ even wear a uniform under his warm-up?
Nah. Not even.
Yo,
close.
PJ got a fear of God wife beater under that.
He got the essentials on. Forget about it.
Fear of God wife beater and like a Miri joggers under his shit.
Look, they gave PJ Washington all the practice gear. They gave him all like he's the flyest dude in warm-ups, but I think the first game that he played, nobody even knew what his number was. I don't even think he had a number the first time he was here. PJ Washington ain't getting in no games for us. Not at all.
Yo, PJ Washington is wearing a uniform.
PJ Tucker, I'm sorry.
Before.
I
know you met PJ Tucker. I know you met PJ Tucker. I know. I was gonna let it rock. He probably got warm-ups that we've never seen before. Some exclusive, like Clyde ain't even seen it before. It's like, yo, what? He's wearing Clyde's alternate jersey warm-up from the 73-74 season. Oh, there was only 3 made, and PJ just so happened to get one of them. He's like the most interesting man in the world because he has the most exclusive kicks you'd ever imagine. But yeah, he be losing on sneakers like me and you. Like, he's a man of the people, bro. He walks with kings, but he doesn't lose the common touch. Like that is the man right there for sure. But as far as the feeding Mikal in the mid-range, I think he feeds himself, right? Like, I think he feeds himself. Like, he's going to get that mid-range by hook or by crook. I think more so it's a combination of play calling and aggressiveness. That to me is the two that's going to like determine how effective, because they're going to need that tertiary scorer. And if it's going to be like OG Mikal picking up that slack and being able to generate that type of offense, I think they're going to be in great position, man. Especially if this OG shows up in the play. We saw this OG before the hamstring, bro. Look, y'all can bullshit with rap if you want. Don't bullshit with OG. I'm telling y'all. Well, all right, Mark. Let's get to a couple more, and then we'll pay our light bill. Thank you, Nick Head. Thank you so much. Is that Australian?
That's Australian dollars.
Okay. The AUD. Are Tibbs haters aware that it is okay to smile every now and again? Half of these guys are dreaming of ways to talk shit about Tibbs. We won the game. Enjoy something.
Jonathan Macri is somewhere smiling and he doesn't know why.
Yo, if y'all want to see comedy, y'all have to go to the last Knicks Film School podcast with Jeremy and John, featuring John's daughter. When he pitched a detention slip scenario to her. Should the fans get the slip or should Tibbs get the slip about playing Kolek? And his daughter said, is Tibbs wrong or are the fans wrong? Is fans wrong and Tibbs is right? But are like basically, are the fans wrong for questioning him? Because is Tibbs actually doing the right thing and the fans are the one that's wrong? That's exactly how she framed it. Paraphrasing. Is Tibbs doing the right thing? Is Tibbs wrong? Or is Tibbs doing the right thing and the fans are wrong for criticizing him? I said, holy shit. And this was unprompted. I was like, yo, that must have been the top 5 proudest moments as a father. Like that is I think it was Benji. It was Benji or Jeremy. I can't remember. Apologies, y'all. I know y'all don't look alike. I'm not trying to espouse any type of shit. Or,
it was Benji.
Yo,
it was Benji.
It was Benji, right?
Yeah.
Benji was like, "Oh my God, that's a Macri," and I know it was Benji because he had the mood lighting. You know, Benji be having the mood lighting in his crib. That's exactly how it was. It was Benji. That if y'all wanna have some comedy, that was a fantastic pod. But that part, I'm talking about real tears. But here's another reason, Mensa, why we don't need to cry. Because everything's good over here. Everything is good because our bills stayed paid. And if you want the bills to stay paid, you got to have someone like John Macri talking for you. So Macri, let's tell the people who they should support next.
Hey guys, quick word to tell you about our friends from Mando. What is Mando? Well, I'll tell you. It is a whole body deodorant that is safe to use anywhere on your body. Yes, there is a part of your personage that may smell. Mando is to the rescue. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO, we all know about BO, was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. So here's the deal. Mando, does it have a normal deodorant stick that you've been using your whole life on your underarms? Absolutely it does. And it's great. But that's not all that they have, because your BO and your odor does not just come from under your armpits. It comes from all over the place. So if you want a little spray for yourself, Mando has that. If you want a little invisible cream, Mando's Pro Sport, it has that. If you want some body wash for your different odor issues, Mando has that. And best of all, they have these invisible wipes. These are my favorite ones. You pop them open, you grab a wipe. If you know you've been sweating from a particular place, wipe it off a little bit, and you're good to go. Mando truly has figured out something that it has taken way, way, way too long to figure out for us men. We are busy, we are sweaty, we are smelly, and we must control that odor. Mando's starter pack, it really is perfect for new customers. It comes with all the things that I just showed you, plus free shipping. And as a special offer for Knicks Film School listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to 40% off your starter pack. Just use code KFS at shopmando.com. Again, it's 40% off a starter pack by using code KFS at shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
There should be no reason anybody in the KFS community has BO ever again. Support Mando. Support Knicks Film School. Get those likes up. Send this to everybody. It's Mensa, it's Jeff, and it's the Knicks Film School chat. Tell us where we got to go next. We need to know. Mark is going to send us the super chats. Mensa, you got it. This is the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, sponsored by BetUS TV. Mensa, let's get this running up, man. I want to see what the people got to say.
All right. Richard Robinson, thank you for your contribution. He says, if Tibbs departs, how about Jay Wright? Me personally, if Tom Thibodeau leaves, and I don't think he leaves, I think he will eventually become the general manager of the New York Knicks, because that position's been vacant pretty much since Scott Perry left it. But for me, it would be, I would want to see the Knicks go get some young blood, go find the next wonder kind, like the dude who just took Taylor Jenkins' job, do something like that and usher in the new era, because I feel like Jay Wright is one of Tom Thibodeau's peers in terms of age. So we don't really want to get much older on the coaching front. I want somebody bringing in fresh ideas. So I really wouldn't go with Jay Wright. I don't know who, but probably not him.
Jay Wright, former Hofstra University coach, by the way.
Villanova.
Before
before
no, he was
Villanova.
at Hofstra first.
Oh,
He was at
wow.
Hofstra
Oh,
first,
look at me jumping the
and
gun.
then he went to Villanova and won his title. So Jay Brunson, Mikhail, Dante, Josh Hart, you are welcome from proud alumnus at Hofstra University. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Oh, Mark. Shout out, Mark. You a Hofstra grad too. That's what's up. I knew I liked you for a reason. Rich Robinson, we be closing in on 50. We're 4 wins away. We are 4 wins away. And if we look at the current Knicks schedule, by this time on April 9th, they should be there. We see the Blazers, the Sixers, the Cavs, the Hawks, and the Suns. I think they could get 4 out of the next 5. I don't know if they will, but they could. So I think it's definitely within the realm of possibility, especially closing out the season. I can see it happening.
Yeah, it's important to me, man. It really is important to me for the New York Knicks to get to that 50 wins because that's something we haven't seen since the Clinton administration, guys. Like it's just it's huge. You want to see your team be consistent. You want to see your team consistently be at the top of the league, man. I don't like the playoffs are important and it matters, but that's not the only barometer for success. Back-to-back 50-win seasons for the first time in 30 years. That's something to be proud of. So I really hope those guys get it. Let's get these 4 more wins.
For sure. Thanks, Rich.
All right. Thank you, Luchasaurus65. Thank you for the contribution. We appreciate it. Contributions like that, along with our Mando reads, help us, pay the bill. So thank you, sir. All right. We got one from.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
We got one from the Dean of Knicks Film School himself, Jonathan Macri. Thank you for the contribution. We appreciate you. He says, this is one for you, Jeff. You can go right ahead.
Jeff, where can I get a bottle of the energy you started the show with? Asking for an old, decrepit friend with 2 kids. Hi, Mensa. So that energy might start to get depleted because I have 1. So we're 50%. You're 50% up on the kids for me. But I'll tell you, sometimes you're born with it. Sometimes you can use chemicals to increase it. And I feel like I've had this motor for a while. So I appreciate you. I like turn it up. And when I'm doing something I love and with people I fuck with, like it's easy, man, especially about this team. Like you gotta, if you're not in the mood, you better get in the mood. That's how I feel about it.
Definitely. Yeah. I think, it's just gotta have good energy, man. It's easy when you love what you're talking about. I know personally, I love talking about the Knicks, and I come out here like Kirk Franklin sometimes. It's your uncle, your auntie, your nephew. Like I just gotta have the energy, so it's fun. Gotta, you want a revolution, so we gotta keep that energy high, man. Especially when we're pinch hitting and we're filling in for.
Exactly.
The great Jonathan Macri. So thank you for the contribution, John. We appreciate you.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to be Kirk Franklin. Sometimes you got to be Plies. 2 sides of the yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Andrew Claudio, thank you so much. So about that watch party curse, crickets. Yes, I think you have slayed that dragon tonight, KFS squad. There should be no more talk. This was your can the Knicks Film School watch party beat teams, significant teams that matter? Can you beat a team and eliminate the curse? You reversed the curse. Not that there was one, but you reversed it. I'm definitely mission accomplished.
Yeah, I got to get to one of these watch parties this year. It's just, especially now, like my son is 16 months old today, so like it's hard because he's always. He takes up most of my time, but I got to, especially like for the playoffs, I got to be there. Be there, be square, man. The watch parties are so much fun. T-Squared is a great venue. They got the virtual golf. They got, you can bowl, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. It's not just a venue for crazy Knicks fans and crazy New York sports fans. It's a great place to take the family and take the kids. And now that my son, is a little wobbly and start walking around, I might have him wobble around T-Squared sometime soon, man. But yeah. Definitely happy we broke that curse.
You better bring the headphones, because if one thing I've learned, little kids do not like a lot of sound, a lot of noise, elevated pitches. Nah, it's gonna go off.
Oh,
went off in here the other day. You would have thought it was like Magneto out here starting the revolution. Like, it was crazy. My daughter was like, hell no. She can't even talk yet. She babbled. She was like, hell no. Daddy, get me out of here, please. It's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you, fam. Like, it's
we live here.
I'm like, you can't run outside. You're a kid. I don't know what to tell you. I just gotta cover your ears and hope for the best. Thank you, GMAC. Robert W. Cross, the pastor,
My
the
guy.
high priest of Knicks Film School, Robert W. Cross, Mensa, and the Jeff J. Tyler Kolek, 29 assists and 1 turnover in his last 4 games. I know this is not the last we've heard from Robert Cross. Am I guessing incorrectly, Mark? Do we have another one? Because I know he doesn't just drop one bar. I know he has verses. There we go.
There it is.
Go ahead, Mensa.
Robert W. Cross, thank you for the contribution. He says, I see a future where Kolek hits JP in the pocket as Brunson hunts his shot. A little Chef Curry style. Robert, I would love to see it, but I don't think that happens as Tom Thibodeau is the coach, because Tom Thibodeau will die before he sacrifices his defense in the manner of having Tyler Kolek and Jalen Brunson on the court at the same time. But it would be great, especially because Jalen Brunson, since we've lost Julius Randle, isn't giving us that elite off-ball scoring that we were accustomed to the first 2 years. So it would be great to see somebody hit him with some passes, because Jalen Brunson off the ball is just as deadly as he is with the ball in his hands.
I will say you are seeing the point guard of the future, the backup point guard of the future. You saw that it was getting a little shaky in that third quarter. Kolek came through in the fourth, and it was Lifetime Fitness out there. Open runners, he's finding guys. Landry Shamet, the Phoenix guys, they better take that man out to dinner, bro. Like, whatever you want, top shelf, top shelf, because he is serving. He's the servant right now. He gonna have to borrow that from KD for a second, because the way I just feel like if I was out there with him, I could get at least 10 points. Because if he passes it to me,
man.
It's like the NBA Jam fire. You get the fire and then it's pop. You knocking that down. So I appreciate watching him play, and I like the prospects for the future. Robert W. Cross, keep going. I know you got to keep going. I know you got more. Money Mitch got 10 rebounds in 18 minutes. Man came all the way back from injury. Much respect. And he is getting his mood-changing vibes back more than anything. I'm telling you, that first quarter, Cat went out and Mitch went in, him and DeLon with OG and Mikal, that was different, bro. That was very different. Like, the Knicks looked like the We Hear Knicks that if they could shoot.
Yeah.
That's how they looked on the court.
Definitely. I think it's good to see Mitchell Robinson play in basketball games while he who injured him is out for the season. Just desserts. We'll leave that right where it is. But the best part about Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench with this team is it gives us that multiple looks that we were trying to accomplish with Precious, but not quite, because Precious isn't the talent that Mitchell Robinson is. So you can go with Cat at the 4, Mitch at the 5 if you want to. And it offers you high level, you have a high level starting 5. You could put Deuce with the starting 5 instead of Josh. You can put Mitch with the starting 5 instead of, I guess, OG or whoever you want to take out. And it really is good to see what the Knicks could do. So definitely much respect to Mitchell Robinson for working his way all the way back and having 10 rebounds in 18 minutes. That is very impressive.
Thanks, sure. Rob. Keep going. Mensa is my favorite hype man of all time. Closes his super chat show like the champion he is.
It's funny because the first super chat when he wrote my name in all caps, I heard it the way Kendrick Lamar screamed mustard. So yeah, like, he hypes me up. So I'm happy to I just like bringing the energy, man. That's all I like to do, because it's good I love being here. That's really all it boils down to.
And Robert Cross, that is it for his super chats. But there is a post-credit scene to Robert Cross's super chat. You thought the post-credits, we roll the post-credits right now. Jeff J, just want to say I enjoy your loquacious nature and addition to the KFS Nation. Robert, you are a mensch. You are a joy, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the KFS community. welcoming me with open arms. I love doing this. I've done this on multiple platforms. I do this on multiple platforms, and I appreciate each platform that I'm on because you give me the platform to effuse my love for the Knicks, for sports, for communication with people. You help to facilitate that. So I appreciate it. This community is dope. I've met a lot of dope people, and I'm ready to keep it going, man. Like, I appreciate the love, for real. All jokes aside. And with that, it's time to take a road trip out of town. Let's go to the out of town scoreboard presented by T Squared Social, located in Times Square. The place is phenomenal. I can tell you that. They don't pay me to say it. You feel me? Like, I ain't more money going in my pocket. I'm telling you that as a customer. It's clean. It's huge. They got private rooms. They got major rooms that you get watch party. It's like you could have multiple watch parties at once going on. It's its own individual worlds. I didn't even know about the virtual golf, but I know it's in there somewhere. You feel me? I know it's in there somewhere. So it's definitely fire. And you can also get a free draft beer if you pull up and you say KFS sent you. So visit tsquaresocial.com, learn more about the club memberships, the trivia nights, sports league, and everything else I don't even know about, but they know about, and they're going to tell you when you visit. All right, let's get to the scoreboard. Let's see what's going on in this league. First off, we mentioned it earlier. The Detroit Pistons beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 133-122. Donovan Mitchell dropped 38 points and 5 boards and 3 assists. Timmy, once a Nick, always a Nick. Tim Hardaway Jr., 32 points, 7 3-pointers made, 3 assists. Jalen Duren, double-double, 16 points, 13 rebounds. And Malik Beasley, that's a name you got to watch, especially with these playoffs coming around. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, Detroit, they're hitting their pocket, man. They're hitting their pocket, and they are a team that folks is going to have to spend some nights worrying about, for sure. LA Clippers doing their New York tour. Might as well have been off. They played the Nets. They beat them 132-100. Kawhi, 31.6 rebounds with 5 threes made. Avisa Zubac, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist. And the Beard, 17.6 assists, 2 rebounds. You talk about hitting the pocket. That Clippers team stays healthy. It is Mortal Kombat in the West Conference. All right. It is straight Mortal Kombat out there. Good luck, whoever has to see the Clippers. If they stay healthy, good luck.
Don't nobody want to see the Clippers. Nobody. They like Debo.
In the Cooper Flag Invitational, the Toronto Raptors beat the Charlotte Hornets 108-97. Get well soon, LaMelo Ball. He had his surgery, I believe, on his wrist. They shut that down because, we don't need to be winning too many more games, and you need to heal up for next season. So we get either Ace or Cooper or someone with you to run and gun and try to turn this thing around in Charlotte. Let's see. Our friend Emmanuel Quickly, 19 points, 9 assists, 5 3-pointers made. Jakob 24 points, 12 rebounds. They was out there balling. Scotty Barnes, 18.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, you get your points up, get your stats off in these games going forward. The Golden State Warriors defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 111-95. Jimmy Buckets, 18 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. The Chef, 5 3-pointers made, 23.6 assists. Doing what they do, man. Like that's another team. Once again, it's straight blood sport out there. So the Warriors have been doing their thing. So shout out to them. The hot Phoenix Suns, they were cooled off tonight by the Minnesota Timberwolves, 124-109. Old friend, forever Nick Julius Randle, 25 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Gillespie, I want to say his name is Colin. Am I making that up?
That sounds right.
It is Colin Gillespie. Yeah. I think he recently was inserted into the starting lineup for them. 22 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Robert Gordon. Who? Rudy Gobert, 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 steals. I'm wilding, and I'm not even thinking. That's crazy. Who is Robert Gordon? Robert Gordon AKA, that's what he calls himself when he don't want people to know who he is. My name is Robert Godot. The Denver Nuggets took out a lot of aggression on the Utah Jazz, 129-93. Joker, I can make up a stat line right now and you'd be like, oh, damn, he's cooking. 27 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Michael
Just
Porter
another
Jr.
night.
Yeah. Ho-hum. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Michael Porter Jr. And Kyle Filipowski getting some work in, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 2 steals as we start to shape what's going to look like the playoff picture in the NBA. This is like that weird time when you get March Madness and you get those different games. I think we were talking about either Golden State or the Clippers. Mark says that's his dark horse for the Western Conference Finals. Unless it's the Nuggets, you tell me who it is. I named 3 teams. If I went 0 for 3, Mark, I'm going to be really sick. But yeah, that is your the Clippers. It was his Clippers. I thought so. That is your out-of-town scoreboard presented by T-Squared Social, out-of-town scoreboard. If you pull up, you get a draft beer. If you tell them KFS sent you, tsquaresocial.com to learn more. Let's finish up strong and get to these super chats. I know we got a lot more to talk about. David Crockett, what's up, bro? Good eve, gents. Let's assume Wright's offense isn't real, but have we found an end-of-half/game Ntilikina type matchup defender? Yeah, I think he's already that. He is a situational defender right now for this team. If they do the offensive defense substitutions, you're going to see DeLon Wright. A good thing about one positive attribute about DeLon is he's 6'5". So he has that extra length and he can play defense. So in certain matchups, he'll be highly switchable and he's super confident. He doesn't need to play the game to get locked into defense. So that's all. What about you?
Yeah, nah, I'm definitely first of all, shout out to my guy David Crockett, fellow Mets fan. Yeah, I mean, DeLon Wright, you can kind of tell he's a Tibbs kind of guy, long defender, stays ready, professional. I do think that you could see him getting some situational minutes with the Knicks in the playoffs, but I also think that there's a chance for him. Like if Campaign doesn't have it, put DeLon Wright in the game. So I would love to see it. I definitely would love to see it, especially as we get deeper in the playoffs against a team like Boston. It's always good to have that multiple look. So for sure, I hope so.
Yo, shout out I-95 Bully. You saying you can't super chat. If you're subscribed, you can. I'm not trying to put you on the front street. I'm just saying, like, you'd have to be subscribed to send a super chat. So check that. Otherwise, he did get one in. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure because I know you said you couldn't. So just here to help. Just here to help. Thank you so much. Armand with another one. Mensa got. Damn. Yeah, we freed him though.
Yeah, I'm out, man. I'm telling you. You know what it is? It's the CIA jokes I was making earlier in the group chat. So
Listen,
no more CIA jokes.
A wise man named Jesus Nice once said, "It's Friday. Avoid the bookings, beloved." So we are glad that we got Mensa out before it turned midnight because you wouldn't see Mensa. He would have been Monday Night Mensa because he would have been in there for the whole weekend. Thank you, Armand. David Crockett, another one. So we're not going to talk about Mitch behind the back.
I must have missed that. He went behind the back in the game?
Or did he dribble behind the back?
Listen, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson be doing crazy things at all times. He thinks he's Steph Curry for real.
No, he was good for one of those. I don't think he did the behind the back. Oh, was that on the drive where Brooke blocked him and then they got the rebound? Did he hit behind the back? He might. He got one of those a year. He got one of those a year. I'll take your word for it. I apologize. I do not remember that. Maybe it was another timeline. I don't know. Phrase Vader. Thank you so much. Good win Friday night Knicks. Add the Friday sweep with the Mets win. Let's fucking go Mets. Let's fucking go Knicks. Just get healthy and then buckle up. I couldn't have said it better, bro.
Juan Soto is a New York Met. Francisco Lindor is a New York Met. This is my life. I love it.
I mean, like I said, live it. Because not everybody can't win, but when you're winning, you gotta live it while you win it. Thank you so much, Phrase. Hush Zoo, what's going on, bro? I really don't see Giannis wanting to stay in Milwaukee. That being said, is there a real chance we could get him? Who would y'all send out to get him? Before the cat trade, I had a super Giannis agenda. That was the guy that I wanted here. Now, I think if he does come here, Cat is going to be the one that has to go just off of the money alone. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if they want that to happen. I mean, the two prime suspects, the two prime candidates are probably Cat and OG.
Yeah.
Because of the money alone, not because of skill level or whatever. It's the money alone. I will say, you get a team with Cat and Giannis on the same team.
Hello.
Good luck,
man.
Good luck. I tell you this much: my salsa picante tank is, if the Knicks would have kept iHeart, none of what we'd be talking about would even matter because we would not be in that situation. But them's are the breaks. I can't be mad at that man getting his paper.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Shout out to Isaiah Hartenstein, obligatory free Dante, and hopefully bring my son back
free
to the Blue and
Dante
Orange,
until it's backwards.
Yo, facts. But I don't think he's gonna stay in Milwaukee. I definitely don't believe that. And I will only say that in the post Luka Doncic getting traded for the idea of Anthony Davis world, you never know how these things will go, man. But hopefully, if the Knicks get him, that'd be great. That'd be fun. If they don't, we'll be all right. But if you give me Giannis, Cat, and Jalen Brunson, oh yeah, we going streaking, baby.
Yeah.
It's up
for sure. That would definitely limit the window. But what a window! What a window! Thank you, Hushdu. Appreciate you. I-95 Bully. He made it. You're what's good. Man, if OG can give a consistent 20, Mikal Bridges take over in spurts, I can almost talk myself into it. I think if they're doing that, there is no talking into it. You in it, bro. You in it.
Look, man, I was out on the New York Jets around Christmas. Then they hired Aaron Glenn and signed Justin Fields, and I was right back in the thick of things, man. The Knicks, I will never be out on the Knicks. I'm always into it. I don't know if OG and Mikal Bridges are gonna go back to back the way they did like 96, 97. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's how they're gonna keep it going, but at the same time, it's like I want to believe in this team because I don't know about you guys, but I became a Knicks fan during the Marbury era. So as far as Knicks fandom goes, I'm from the projects. You know what I'm saying? So we out the projects, baby. And I'm happy to be here. So whatever it is, I'm rolling with them. I'm riding with them. I'm going with my New York Knicks until I can't go with them no more.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I'm really happy that you feel that way, Mensa. But now we got to get it to 10,000. Thank you so much, I-95 Bully. I-95 Bully. I appreciate you.
But you know, man.
All right. Finishing off the super chats, our brother Kev Words.
Yes,
with a
sir.
daily double. You get this one, Mensa.
All right, Kev Word. Shout out to my guy, man. He says, first of all, thank you for the super chat, man. We appreciate you. He says, everyone at the watch party was yelling at Shamit, calling him trash. Then he started hitting threes. Hashtag ain't no curse. Hashtag watch party vibes. Hashtag meaningful minutes.
I love it.
Ain't that the sickness of fandom, though? Where we want a guy to take his jersey off. We start quoting his stats like he's shooting 31% from three in the year. I don't know why he's still shooting. And then he hits 2 in a row. And then we're just like, oh, wait, I actually love you again.
Yeah, damn, he all right.
It's the sickness of fandom, man. Like, but look, man, I always say this, and I feel like this is a great super chat to end with because it's like,
well, there's one more.
One more.
Yeah, he got more balls. He got more balls.
Of course. But
we got a couple more left. There's sneaky chats coming in right now.
They're coming in. All right, so cool. He says, great show, by the way. Appreciate you. Hashtag gang. You know the vibe is up and it's stuck. KFS till the wheels fall off. You know how we rocking. Please continue to support the guys, man.
Yes, sir. And last but certainly never least, Robert W. Cross, please say the W. Thank you so much for the super chat. I've been a Knicks fan since the summer of 73 when I was in the crib. Last time they got a chip too.
Man, we've been in the projects a long time, guys.
Wow.
We've been in the projects for generations.
51 years.
Oh, man.
You here for the long haul, Rob. I can't even be mad at you. I respect it. I respect it. You know, I think the Knicks are the last of the teams I support that haven't won a title in my lifetime.
Ah, you lucky, brother.
The last of them. And I'm talking about across sports. Like the Liberty already wrapped that up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back to back on the way, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Marine Johannes is back.
Who we just pick up?
Cloud in the
Cloud,
building.
there we go.
Cloud 9 is in the house. Sabrina home. You heard Stewie there. John Quell there. Benijah is there. Like, listen, man. It's about to be brunch boots and vegan jerk chicken all downtown Brooklyn, bruh. Like, we running it up. We running it up, bro. So this is the one I want, though. Like, out of all of them, this is the one like I crave. This is my Triforce. This is my one piece. This is my one piece. The Knicks championship. I need that. I need that. I like really need that. So that day, the day comes is the day the gods have forsaken the world, because the Knicks fans will raise every single thing. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be one of the greatest days in the history of this planet. And I cannot wait. And I think that's why you should be steadfast in your fandom, because like I said, why not your team? Why not your team? It's got to be your team eventually. You know, I've seen the Cubs break the curse. I've seen the Red Sox break the curse. Anything is possible, bro. And
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep. I never thought they was going to get one. And anything can happen. So I'll tell y'all this. When I started watching basketball, the Mavericks as a franchise were a fucking laughing stock. A fucking laughing stock. Not just a laughing stock, a fucking laughing stock. Now they're considered, prior to this year, they're considered like a solid organization. You win one chip. Golden State had like the same amount of chips as the Knicks before they cashed in on Curry and Clay and Dre. Like, all it takes is a couple of good years and some championships, and all of a sudden you're back to prominence again. But it has to start somewhere, and that's why I would say enjoy this. Stop looking towards the future when the present is what writes it. The present is now. The present is where you make your future. The past is already done. You learn from the past, you apply it in the present, and you make your own future. But if you continue to look in the future, you're going to become history, and not in a good way. So appreciate the present while you're making it, because the present has the most opportunity for a bright future, especially when you're a fan. Especially when you're a fan. So don't get caught up in the other bullshit, man. Just fan, however, at this point, because y'all are all crazy. So fan how y'all fan and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride, bro, because it's a good ride. It's gonna be a good ride. Mensa, we out of here, bro.
Before I close, I just want to say Jeff just confirmed that he ghostwrites for Nas with those bars at the end there. But man, that was great way to close. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to the KFS Postgame Show presented by BetUS TV. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a 5-star rating wherever you are listening to this episode. If that is YouTube, if that's Spotify, if that's Apple Music, wherever you get your things to listen to, please give us a 5-star rating. It really helps the brand out. So thank you guys so much again for rocking with the brand. For Knicks Film School, for BetUS TV, for T-Squared Social, for Mando Deodorant, and everybody else that's rocking with us. I'm Mensa. That is Jeff J. We thank you so much for your patronage. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. Later.